Absolutory causes from the Revised Penal Code, Part 2. In entrapment, the means originates from the mind of the criminal. The idea and the resolve to commit the crime come from him. In instigation, the law enforcer conceives the commission of the crime and suggests to the accused, who adopts the idea and carries it into execution. The legal effects of entrapment do not exempt the criminal from liability. Instigation does. People versus Marcos, citing earlier cases. In instigation, a public officer or a private detective induces an innocent person to commit a crime and would arrest him upon or after the commission of the crime by the latter. It is an absolutory cause. In entrapment, a person has planned, or is about to commit, a crime, and ways and means are resorted to by a public officer to trap and catch the criminal. Entrapment is not a defense. Instigation must be made by public officers or private detectives. A criminal act may not be punishable if the accused was induced to commit it by active cooperation and instigation on the part of public detectives. State versus Hayes. A sound public policy requires that the courts shall condemn this practice by directing an acquittal whenever it appears that the public authorities or private detectives, with their cognizances, have taken active steps to lead the accused into the commission of the act. As was said in a Michigan case, human nature is frail enough at best, and requires no encouragement in wrongdoing. If we cannot assist another, and prevent him from committing crime, we should at least abstain from any active efforts in the way of leading him into temptation. Saunders vs. People. If the one who made the instigation is a private individual, not performing public function, both he and the one induced are criminally liable for the crime committed. The former, as principal by induction, and the latter, as principal by direct participation. There is neither instigation nor entrapment when the violation of the law is simply discovered. Charged with and prosecuted for a violation of Executive Order No. 62, Series of 1945. The accused having sold a can of Menon talcum powder for 1 pesos when the ceiling price for said article was only 0.86 pesos. The defense contended that the government agent induced the accused to violate the law by purchasing from him the article and paying for it in an amount above the ceiling price. Held. The agent did not induce the accused to violate the law. He simply discovered the violation committed by the accused when he, the agent, purchased the article from him. It was the accused who charged and collected the price. There was not even an entrapment. People versus Tanchen. Assurance of immunity by a public officer does not exempt a person from criminal liability. Thus, the accused who delivered to the barrio lieutenant a gun and ammunition when the latter announced that anyone who is concealing firearms should surrender them so that he will not be penalized is not exempt from criminal responsibility arising from the possession of the unlicensed firearm and ammunition. In fact, not even the president could give such assurance of immunity to any violator of the firearm law. His constitutional power of clemency can be exercised only after conviction. People versus Alaba. Complete defenses in criminal cases. 1. Any of the essential elements of the crime charged is not proved by the prosecution and the elements proved do not constitute any crime. 2. The act of the accused falls under any of the justifying circumstances. Article 11. 3. The case of the accused falls under any of the exempting circumstances. Article 12. 4. The case is covered by any of the absolutory causes. A spontaneous desistance during attempted stage, Article 6, and no crime under another provision of the Code or other penal law is committed. B. Light felony is only attempted or frustrated, and is not against persons or property. Article 7. C. The accessory is a relative of the principal. Article 20. D. Legal grounds for arbitrary detention. Article 124. Illegal grounds for trespass. Article 280. F. The crime of theft, swindling or malicious mischief is committed against a relative. Article 332. G. When only slight or less serious physical injuries are inflicted by the person who surprised his spouse or daughter in the act of sexual intercourse with another person. Article 247. H. Marriage of the offender with the offended party when the crime committed is rape, abduction, seduction, or acts of lasciviousness. Article 344. I. Instigation. 5. Guilt of the accused not established beyond reasonable doubt. 6. Prescription of crimes. Article 89. 7. Pardon by the offended party before the institution of criminal action in crime against chastity. Article 344.